Hello Libra, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection, so we'll look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story, so we'll be looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section we'll be looking at what is the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. On that note, and especially if you are a cross watcher, just know that this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that is totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Libra, let's jump on in. We're going to start with looking at your energy, their energy, and the energy in between the connection through oracle cards first, and then I will dive deeper into the reading with tarot as we progress. But let's first start, Libra, with your energy toward the person you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. This is Libra's side of the connection. Right out of the gate, I'm just going to let you guys know, I feel a lot of anxiety in this reading. I feel like there is a lot of anxiety around this connection, about the future of the connection, about where things stand, about, just how to move forward. I felt like as soon as I started channeling this energy, I just felt this like almost this heaviness, this difficulty of like when it comes to breathing. So you have solitude with triggered here. So there is this energy of feeling alone. I don't know if this connection is fully in separation. I don't know what it is, what the state of it is yet. I think we'll get more information on that as we progress in this reading. But with this solitude card, I feel like this is this energy of feeling very alone, even though you don't want to be. And this triggered energy, I feel like this connection has been recently very triggering for you, bringing up maybe buried wounds, bringing up insecurities, fears around love, around being able to have the love that you deserve, around being lovable or good enough, maybe even for some of you. So I think that this kind of, gives me some insight into that heaviness energy that I feel I am gathering here. Let me see what's going on this person's side of things, because I feel like that's why you guys are really here. Let's look at this person's energy toward you, Libra. Drama. This person's got a lot going on in their life right now. I feel like outside of this connection. Oh, I also feel like this person brings a lot of chaos to situations. And then there's passion. This person certainly has very strong feelings for you and for this connection. But there's something about this drama card that I don't like. I don't know necessarily what it is yet. It's very chaotic. And it's also very ingenuine. Now, that doesn't mean that this person isn't genuine in their feelings for you, but I feel how they show up, I feel could be a little bit ingenuine. I think that the feelings are real. Like, that's for sure. There's an intense attraction here. I definitely feel like they're romantic in nature, but it almost feels, I don't know. There's something there. I don't know what it is yet. And this is just, we're just looking at oracle cards right now. So I don't necessarily know if I'm supposed to know yet. We'll uncover it with tarot. But yeah, there's something about this drama card I don't like. I don't know if it's like they wear a mask. Because, I mean, this is literally a mask here, right? And that's where I'm kind of getting that ingenuine energy. I don't even know if that's a word. I'm pretty sure it is. Lack of being genuine. Truth of the connection between Libra and this person. It's so funny when I'm in readings, I feel like sometimes words just like don't make as much sense as usual because I'm trying to put words to energy. Truth of the connection between Libra and this person, which can be kind of hard sometimes. This person might be kind of hiding true feelings too. Wild card, okay. And this is it's when it comes to this connection, when it comes to this person, things are really up in the air. I feel like you don't really ever know what to expect from them, especially how things stand right now. I feel like there's a lot that I almost feel like you feel maybe a little bit blindsided by. I don't know if that's necessarily the right word for it. You have this grief and sadness card, and this is that, again, that heaviness energy that I've been feeling. I feel like when it comes to this connection, you're in this place of wishing things were different, wishing things were better, and I feel like you're trying to make sense of where things are at right now. With this deja vu card, this is the indication of some sort of a cycle that is repeating in your life, whether in this connection or in your relationships in general. And I think that this cycle, it almost like the cycle has you doubting your ability to experience love, the love that you deserve, safe, healthy love. And that makes sense. I think that when we experience, whether it's failed relationships or heartbreak or loss in love, whatever the case might be, we start to wonder, is this all there ever is going to be for us? And I feel like it's always important to remember the love that we desire is always possible. What's meant for us will never, ever pass us. However, every relationship in our life provides us with an assignment to heal, grow, evolve in some way. And if we don't do that assignment, like if we don't show up for that assignment, what it's pushing us to do, heal, grow, evolve, we will repeat it. We'll have to repeat that assignment. The assignment will keep showing up. So that happens a lot in cycles, and understanding the root of those cycles can really help break out of them. But let's look at this overall theme here of this connection between you and this person, Libra. I feel like this person always leaves you in this grief and sadness energy, or does things that leaves you in this grief and sadness energy. I don't know necessarily what happens here. Overall theme of this for Libra. It's like this person kind of thrives in chaos, so they're not able to bring peace. Pride keeps us apart. On the bottom there is unlocked potentials. I feel like you both do see the potential in this connection, but there's something about, and it goes back to this mask. This mask and this pride card. There's something about that energy. Something almost like secretive. Karmic. Karmic connections with karmic lessons and karmic cycles, they're not punishments. They're not to show us that, what we deserve. They're to show us, again, assignments, right? Helping us heal, grow, evolve in some way. And there's something very karmic about this connection. It doesn't mean that the connection isn't purposeful, but there is a karmic aspect to it that is keeping you, it's like the cycle within this is karmic. And that's the biggest thing keeping you from what it is that you're desiring in love here. I don't know. I feel like when I do these overall energies, I think it's important for me to start with them because it gives me first of all, an idea of what I'm walking into. And second of all, just kind of, paints a picture for me. But now we get into the nitty gritty to see what's going on here. So let's start, Libra, with your side of this. You have triggered with solitude. This is Libra's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. I don't know if this card is in separation. It might not be a full-blown separation. Like, there might still be communication here. And maybe that's why, for some of you, though, I don't know. All right. One more. Libra's side of this connection. King of Swords. You could be dealing with another air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, but I also kind of see this as your energy here. Six of Swords in reverse. Okay. A lot of swords, which makes sense. I mean, this is an air sign reading, but I also feel like this is very much just kind of an indication of how in your head you are about this. It's almost like, oh, okay, Ten of Pentacles. The Magician in reverse. I mean, and that's the thing here. When it comes to this connection, I feel like you really saw it as kind of this dream come true energy, almost as if it's like, oh my gosh, this is everything I've ever wanted. Ten of Wands. And I think that energy within itself can be very complicated when things don't work out. Because then it's like, okay, is this just proof? Like, it's almost like you're looking at this as proof that you can't have the love that you deserve. And I think that that's why you're feeling really stuck right now. I think that there's more to understanding the purpose of this connection than what you currently realize. I think that when it comes to the energy that you're in, there's a lot of things that, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to elaborate on it, that I feel like you are perceiving incorrectly. And I don't want to say that means that your feelings aren't real and your feelings aren't valid, because they absolutely are, and your experiences. But it feels as you're looking at this connection and what has happened here, it's almost as if there's this energy of this, like, believing that all of these insecurities that you hold, insecurities of not being attractive enough or lovable enough or good enough, almost as if it feels as if this connection has proven it to be correct. Because there is definitely this energy of feeling not chosen. And I don't know, and I think that what's really, really hard for you, and this is the energy that I really feel, is like, I would choose this person 100 times over. I don't understand why they won't choose me. And I think that energy right there is, it can hurt, right? It can hurt really deep for a lot of reasons, because it almost feels like your loyalty is being punished in a certain way, almost as if I kind of get I'm so dumb for trusting, I don't know, maybe that's not resonating with everyone, but it's almost like I shouldn't have trusted this person, or I shouldn't have opened my heart up or whatever. And I don't necessarily think that that's true. I think that right now you're doubting, so much about your energy and so much about the worth that you bring to the table because of how things unfolded here. But the things that I haven't liked the most, it has to do with their energy, the drama and the pride keeps us apart energy. This Ten of Wands, I think, is this indication that I do feel like you've been through a lot in love and in relationships. And to be honest with you, I think you're kind of over it. And I think when it comes to this person, it was kind of like, this is it, right? But what you don't realizes there's so much more manifesting and going on behind the scenes than you might realize. Because remember, manifesting isn't something that we're intentionally doing. It's something that's always happening. And I think that when it comes to this connection and this person, there is a really deep purpose for this. And it's important for you to know. And I feel like what Spirit really wants to bring to the table for you and help you see is that this isn't the end all be all, meaning that the experience that you're having with this connection, this feeling of heartbreak and loss and this feeling of being stuck, this isn't as good as it gets. Like, things get better for you when it comes to love and relationships. However, there is something that needs to be learned. I don't know what that is yet, but there is something that needs to be learned. And I feel like it comes down to understanding, people don't treat us how they value us, right? People treat us how they value themselves. And, I think a lot of times when we are experiencing not feeling chosen by someone, we look at it in this lens of like, oh, I must have done something wrong to not be chosen. But when we're not chosen by somebody, or when there is rejection or whatever the case might be, that is divine protection. And I know, okay? I feel like I felt a little bit of an eye roll, or like I'm so tired of hearing that. I know, especially when something feels so high stakes, like it's really hard to believe that, truly. But sometimes, Spirit, the universe, knows better than we do. And when things don't work out for us in a way that we expect, it's still working out for us. We just, we might not understand how yet. This King of Swords is like staring at me here. Let's dive in. Drama with passion. Let's look at this person's energy toward you here, Libra. I'm sorry, that's a funny card right out of the gate. The Knight of Wands in reverse, just like straight up self-sabotage. Because that's what I feel like I'm feeling. And I'm not so funny saying like funny haha, but it's just like, that's so frustrating. That's so frustrating. And I'm sure it's frustrating for you too, because you're like, and it goes back to what I said, like, you're sitting here going, I would choose this 100 times over. Why won't you choose me? Because you both feel that potential. It's like, if the potential is there, it must be me. Yeah, I can understand why this energy is so frustrating for you. And I said it. Said there was something secretive. Seven of Swords. Knight of Wands in reverse with the Seven of Swords. I don't know what it is, though. Two of Swords in reverse. It's like they can't make up their mind about what they want. So a lot of feelings here. Ace of Wands, I feel like they have the same... I feel like the feelings are very mutual. There's no doubt about that. Five of Swords. Goodness, again, there's so many swords. You very well might be dealing with an air sign, but I also feel like this person is very in their head about this connection. I think that there's anxiety on both sides about this, about how to handle this. Want one more. This person's energy toward you. King of Cups. Oh, I don't like that. Clarified. I'm gonna take that Hangman in reverse too. Okay. this connection or this person's energy is, well, I think the connection itself, but also this person's energy is very complicated. And I can see for you why this has been so complicated, because it is very obvious that this person has feelings for you. It's very obvious that they care about you. It's very obvious that they care about this connection. However, it's obvious in their energy, okay? I don't feel like it's obvious in their actions at all. In fact, I think that, and that goes back to not feeling chosen, right? Because you're like, you know that the feelings are there. So it's like, why the hell, why are you not choosing me? Or why are you not choosing this? If there's so much potential here and things could be so good. And there's a lot of reasons for that. None of those reasons have to do with you, though. And I think that, when people make decisions, when people do things, the first way we as human beings tend to view other people's decisions is immediately through the lens of our fears, insecurities, and anxieties. And the first reaction that we have to any situation isn't necessarily a truth. It's typically rooted in our perception of our past experiences. So when we aren't chosen and we aren't, valued appropriately in the way that we deserve to be valued, we immediately tend to read that through the lens of, this means that I'm not good enough, or this means that I can't have what I deserve. And that's what I said when I went back and I said, I feel like you're projecting a lot of things onto this that aren't entirely true, which is totally normal and totally natural. But being aware of that, I feel like can really help you, because I do feel that this person and the decisions that they're making have, and I'm saying this with truly not just seeing it in their energy, but also just kind of seeing the back and forth between the energy, is that this person does truly have feelings for you. Like, there is no doubt about that, okay? So the way that they view you has nothing to do with their behavior. Their behavior is rooted in something entirely different, and that has to do with, and going back to what I said, how they feel about themselves. This person, I said that they were confused about what they want, and I don't actually think that's true. I think they do know what they want, but there is, and this might be surprising, okay, but there is a lot of insecurity that this person carries, specifically around not being good enough, and even a step further, specifically not being good enough for you. Now, it's interesting because I feel like the way that this person has acted has made you not feel good enough, or has you like questioning your worth or wondering why you're not good enough for them. And that might not be for everybody, okay? I think I sometimes get comments like, I know my worth and I know what I deserve. And I'm not necessarily saying like in a conscious way. Remember, 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious. Only 5% of the way we interact with our reality is conscious level decision making, which means that sometimes we're very driven by how we've been wired, and we learn that we are deserving of the love that we've experienced. So if we've experienced less than what we deserve, starting in childhood with our parents, in early adulthood with relationships, we're going to internalize that. We're going to say, this is the love that I deserve, when that might not be true. It's just the love that you've experienced. And I feel with this specific connection and where this person is kind of coming from, and the decisions that they're making, it's very inconsistent. It's very indecisive. It's very, like, they want the option of the connection, because I do feel like they have this desire here. However, there's a level of vulnerability that is required when it comes to really committing to and opening yourself up to somebody. And I feel like this person is not, like, and that's, okay, yes, okay, it's all starting to come together. That's where the mask is coming from. This person presents themselves as a certain type of person, maybe even one who is confident, who is very sure of themselves, who knows, what they want and how to get it. Deep down, behind that mask, they're not at all. And because that is the case, they don't want anybody getting too close, because the second you get too close and see behind the mask, they immediately are going to feel that version of them, the version of them who they really are behind the mask, is unlovable, is not good enough, isn't worthy of love. So because of that, their goal here is to keep you at an appropriate distance where you don't see behind that mask. And what that makes you feel like here is that they're not loving, choosing, or valuing you, right? But it's interesting because it's actually a mirror of how they aren't loving themselves. And people can only love us and care for us to the extent that they do so for themselves. Nobody can accept a level of love that is higher than the quality and level of love that they give for themselves to themselves. If somebody is very harsh with themselves, if somebody is very critical, they're not going to be able to accept compassion. They're not going to be able to accept gentleness. If somebody is very, if believes that their value is very conditional, they're not going to believe or be able to accept unconditional love. And I think that where this person stands right now, they have, like I said, a lot of insecurity and a lot of feelings around being unlovable and being not good enough that causes them to really distance themselves from anything that makes them scared that they're going to be seen for who they are, essentially. So yeah, that keeps them in this energy. I feel like it's very back and forth. I feel like, again, it's very indecisive. I feel like there are times where you do feel chosen by this person, and then there are times where you just don't. You feel almost rejected by them. And I think that wishy-washy back and forth in and out energy, it's going to have you sitting there. First of all, that's where the anxiety is coming from, right? Because you're like, what do I expect? I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to show up. And second of all, that is going to make you go, every time they pull away or every time they distance themselves or whatever, it's going to make you go, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Or what did I not do right? And you're going to sit there and you're going to self-analyze and you're going to, overthink and try to figure out, what can I do to get this person to choose me, to get this person to stay? Like, that's the word that I really hear, is like, get them to stay. And I think that the short answer is that this person has a lot of healing to do. We all have a certain capacity to give and receive healthy love, and that capacity is going to be directly proportional to the amount of healing that we've done, because we all have trauma. But the level of healing that we've done is going to determine how we're capable of showing up in relationships. So you're wondering, like, why didn't they choose me? But here's the thing. They have a desire for this connection, and in them not choosing this connection, they're not choosing themselves. They're not choosing to believe they're good enough for it. They're not choosing to believe that they're worthy enough for it. And that's them. That's their journey, right? And I think that's where Spirit's trying to help you understand their behavior a little bit more, because how other people show up, how other people treat us has very little to do with how they feel about us and way more to do with how they feel about themselves. Every relationship is a mirror. So when we remember that, we don't look at how people treat us as proof of, what's possible for us in love. We can start to look at it with curiosity, or compassionate curiosity, where we start to go, okay, if every relationship is a mirror and this person isn't choosing me, where am I being asked to choose me right now? How is this pushing me to see not that I'm unworthy of love, but that I'm more worthy of love than I've been able to believe in the past? When we start to answer those questions, we start to open ourselves up to being able to break out of the cycles that have kept us in less than what we deserve. In between this connection, you have grief and sadness with wild card. I'm going to hop on over. We're going to look at the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in alignment with your higher self in the extended. So we're going to dive deeper into the connection, looking at this dynamic and ultimately answering the question, what do you need to do in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? And then I've got an advice card to pull at the very end. Any information on that extended is in the description box below. What else is in the description box below is information on my upcoming workshop, which is all about how to read tarot. There's no right way to read tarot. I don't believe there's necessarily a right way to practice divinity. However, I've made a lot of mistakes in my career and in my personal journey with tarot, and I've learned a lot of things that are important when it comes to reading and to help you use tarot as a tool to manifest and create the life that you do truly deserve. So I've put this all together in a workshop. I'm very excited to share it with you guys. Any information on that is at the very top of the description box below. It is a live workshop. However, if you can't make it live and you still wish to be a part of it, if you purchase a ticket, you'll also receive a replay and all of the materials the next day. Otherwise, thank you so much, Libra, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Libra.